Buenas noches, everyone. Didn't know I could speak Russian, did you? Today I'm just going to give you a basic introduction on how to operate a trumpet. Same principle goes with a wing bone. They're not hard. A lot of people get intimidated by them, but they're really not that difficult. If I can do it, y'all can do it. It's a different sound, and I know that they're gaining in popularity now, which is fine for me because I make them. But I have really good success using these in areas where they don't hear them a lot, especially on public land. You go on public land, you're going to hear every box call, mouth call, friction call, crow call known to man. What you're not going to hear is going to be one of these. So let me go over the basic parts of a trumpet, and then we'll go into how I do it. Now, the way I do it is not the way that a lot of people do it themselves. You're just going to have to work on a way to figure out if that's the way that you want to do it, or develop your own technique. So on a trumpet, what you have is you got the trumpet body. This is a real pretty piece of Coca-Cola. And then a mouthpiece. My mouthpiece on this one is made out of buffalo horn. And then you have the lip stop. This is the bell of the call, and then you've got the mouth opening, which you're not going to be able to see a whole lot of. So real quick, especially with my calls, now I'm not sure how a lot of people are doing, but they're pretty close to the way I'm doing it as well. If you need to adjust this lip stop, hold the mouthpiece. Don't hold the trumpet body and do it, because this is all very fragile. So you hold the mouthpiece, and then you're going to grab the lip stop, twist it, and push if you need more depth out of it, or twist it and pull to get it up to where you're comfortable with it. Where the sound's going to come from is when you draw the air in, and this is, believe it or not, I've had people ask, how do you blow in that thing? Hey, you don't, okay? This is an air-operated call, not like a duck call or an owl call where you're blowing into the call to get the sound. You're actually drawing air through the trumpet into the mouthpiece and into your mouth, where your mouth is going to produce an echo chamber and the sound comes back out. Okay, so the sound is not coming out of here, it's actually coming out of the mouthpiece. You're drawing the air in. So when I'm at the shows, Nashville, Unicoi, wherever, and I have a beginner come up to me, I actually like them because they want to learn. And what I tell them is, I want you to imagine you have a scalding hot cup of coffee, and you want to drink that coffee through one of them little coffee stirrers. All right, you know, the ones you stir all your junk into your coffee with. If you pull too hard, you're going to burn your mouth. And everybody thinks the only way to get volume out of these things is to, you know, like you're not standing on a street corner. Let's say somebody else would be. That's not the way you're doing this. And it's just real light, okay, like a kissing sound, but not quite. I'm not moving my lips a whole lot. So as you're drawing the air in, that's where it's going to come through. If you try to draw too hard, you know, hey, that turkey's 500 yards away, he won't hear me. Yes, he will. A couple of years ago at Unicoi, they did the roundtable discussion, and I can't remember who was talking about it, but a game warden driving down a dirt road, clear cut on the left, he saw a gobbler walking across it from right to left. Puts his binoculars on him, watches him for a second, all of a sudden the bird stands up, tall, turns around, looks behind him, turns around, goes back the other way. So the game warden sitting there filling out his paperwork, 20, 30 minutes goes by, he hears a muffled gunshot. He looked at his odometer on his truck, he drove down the road, here comes a guy toting that bird over his shoulder out of the woods. Game warden went up to him and said, hey man, you know, what were you using? He said, a trumpet. Said, no, seriously, what were you using? He said, I was using a trumpet. It was 9/10 of a mile. Now, granted, that was over a clear cut, and not, you know, especially late spring of the year where you got all the foliage on the trees, but they carry a long way. And in a trumpet, as well as a wing bone, less is more. All right, I can run this trumpet at a very low volume to me. Again, I'm half deaf too, but that bird's going to hear it a very long ways off. So like I said, don't try to pull so much air through it that, you know, you're turning blue in the face. It's a very simple procedure. So we'll move into holding the call. So again, you've got the bell end. I'm right-handed, and I'm more comfortable doing this with my right hand. I position the call between my thumb and forefinger to where I can take, the important finger and just cover the end of the bell. Not completely. I'm not choking it off. I will later on, and I'll show you. Well, I won't show you. You'll have to learn that on your own. But you're just wanting to cover just half of it. All right. And then the other thing you're going to have to learn on your own is what's comfortable for you. Now, a lot of people run it dead center of their mouth. I don't, because my lips are, I don't know, deformed or something, but I have more fat off center of my mouth than I do on the center. I can still run in the center, but I'm more comfortable with it just off to the left side of my mouth. So as you pull it up, what you're going to do is basically it's like drinking a Coke. All right, when I was teaching people how to run a duck call, it's the same thing. Put it, I'll get a good close up here. I put the lip stop just at the bottom of my lip, and I just roll it up. All right, and that's going to position it basically about where I need it. Like I said, the vibration and the rasp is going to come off your lips. It's not going to come off of the call itself. And there are ways to get rasp out of it. Good Lord, if y'all have heard Mark Perdone, that dude can get it, so can Reverend Zach. I get it to an extent, but it's not that important. All right, so holding the call this way, I will cup my left hand over the call, and I do this with gloves on. I just cut the fingertips out, the thumb and the two first fingers. I cut the fingertips out of the call or out of the gloves. That way I can do this. Gloves, you can still do it with the gloves on, but it's going to be more of a muffled sound. I don't want that, or at least that's what I don't think a turkey wants to hear. So bring it up. Again, you practiced about where you want it, and it's just start with a kissing sound, but you're going to see that, to get a more clearer note, it's more of a drawing the air through, and I'll run it real slow to where you can hear it. And then you're just going to speed it up. All right, but if you'll notice, I'm breathing through my nose. All right, now you're going to speed it up to get that yelp out of it. And I don't know how well the microphone is on this camera, but hopefully you're getting the gist of it. If not, leave a message and I'll get back with you. So if you want to change the pitch of the call, two ways to do it. That many. You can do it with the pressure of your lips, drawing them tighter. Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing that I do. Like I said, my lips may not be like yours. I curl both my upper lip and lower lip just a little bit over my teeth. All right, I'm exaggerating, but bring it in. And then to change the pitch of the call with just my lips, I'm drawing my lips tighter to get that higher pitch out of it. Another way that you can do it is just run it however you figure out how to do it, and then moving your finger around the bell of the call. So if you'll notice, that changed a whole lot. It's just going to take you a little bit of practice figuring out which hand you want to do it with. I don't even know if I can do it left-handed. So, excuse me, furball, don't be intimidated by them. They're not that hard. Hopefully you guys get a hold of a good one. And that's another thing. I'm not selling my calls on this. I'm just showing you how to do this. Find a good call maker. All right, there's several of them out there, and they've got the accolades and the ribbons and the medals and all that to go with them. And the other thing is confidence. All right, a lot of people, well, I'm just not that good at it. Take all your other calls, leave them in the truck, walk out in the woods, try it. I think you'll be surprised.